That was suspiciously good timing. I was like, "Wow." I Me too. I'm so excited.
Howdy. Going fine, going fine. Hi, I'm saying words. Yeah, exactly.
How was session yesterday? Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if we get to a point where you're like, "We'll put you on hold until the group gets there," don't be afraid to drop that on us. And then you're like, "Oh." I feel that as I'm DMing in every other week game, and I'm like, "Huh, that's loads of time," and then it's, like, the day before, and I'm like, "Why do I hear boss music?"
Even with occasionally like weeks being delayed.
Yeah. I could have 5 weeks in between sessions, and I would still wait until the Wednesday before, or even the hour before I get home to start doing stuff. Mhm. Words. Words. But the surprise is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so amazing.
Yeah.
That's a
Make
problem.
sure you're in the Roll20, dear.
Oh, one sec.
Huh. It's odd. I wonder how long that's been the way it has been. Oh, okay. I love it when I prank myself and forget how and why I did that. Anyway. All right.
Silly prank.
We ready to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see if I can make technology work. I once again did too much and yet too little at the same time. Does it look like weirdly gray to you, like a loss of color? Well, I can't fix that
Let me
now.
see. It looks slightly muted, but I wouldn't be too.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until just now, but if I were gonna change it, I wouldn't know how to do it and I might break everything worse, so we'll just have to go with this for now. Apologies if it's hard to
Fine.
see.
It's
Um,
no, you can see it just fine.
Yeah.
cool. So, in our last exciting episode of Dungeons and Dragons, Carmen and Adrian had come back into town after having um, escaped their imprisonment, and they found their way to meet with Professor F, the bumbling old man who apparently Carmen has bumped into in the past, and she was willing to tolerate his shenanigans as he led them to his house and chatted with them for a bit, trying to figure out why they were there, and kind of bailed them out of trouble a little bit because Carmen had been accused of murder, but under zone of truth, she managed to testify that she, in fact, had just acted in self defense, and the guards were willing to kind of let the situation go. Later, Carmen and Adrian decided that they wanted to track back down Adrian's supplies. Specifically, they were tracking his staff, his sword, I guess, authority, as it is known. But they would certainly hope that the rest of his stuff is um, with that item, though perhaps maybe it would be elsewhere. As they entered back into the museum where they had previously been captured in one of these extra dimensional spaces in the building, Adrian cast the locate object spell using a crystal that the professor gave him, and that allowed him to basically cast the spell without components, although Carmen did offer him some extra spell components, so he should be able to cast most things without trouble at this point. Anyway, they found that in the museum, Adrian's staff was located on the second floor in one of the rooms, or at least that's where his locate object spell was giving him an indication on where to go. They crept up the stairs past the tiger man who was busily working behind the desk at the front kiosk, and they encountered a room, or a door rather, that had 6 little labels on the wall, and the door would not move as though enchanted shut in some way. The labels, 3 of them seemed not ready to be shown to people, so they had no label at all. One was labeled storage, one was labeled an office, and one, I need to check my notes. One was labeled an exhibit for elementals. So, you guys were trying to figure out how to get into this door, because you could tell this is where Adrian's staff. I keep calling it a staff. I've decided it's a sword. I think we talked
His
about
stuff.
that. Yeah,
His stuff
his
is
magic
there.
item, his
Yeah.
royal blade, is in this room. And you tried to figure out how to get into the room, at least one of the rooms, after casting a what's the word? Judicious use of the identify spell on the door. You were able to determine that it opens to a different location based on which password is uttered, and after a groan trying to figure it out, the door opened to the storage room.
And I am also invisible.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder. So,
I looked at
Carmen's
my character
invisible.
token and I saw that I still have the invisibility symbol,
That
so.
is great. I'm glad you made a note of that. Thank you. And
That's
I
last
assume
for an
that'll
hour,
last
so.
for quite some time. Is it concentration?
An hour.
No, I don't think invisibility. Let me see.
Well,
let me
I know the
just figure out.
spell is concentration, but did you cast it? Like, in what way did you cast it? Using regular spell components, or
No, I
using
cast it with the
with the
scroll,
crystal?
or yeah,
No,
whatever.
you cast it
Whatever
with
it
your
is.
with your ability.
Oh,
Your shadow, blah blah blah.
oh yeah, so that he can do it for free.
Oh
Gotcha.
Mhm.
yeah. You're right. I did
Gotcha.
I usually am.
that.
Okay, so that would be concentration then. Yeah. So, Carmen is invisible. You all enter into this storage room. Looking around, it seems to be filled with lots of boxes, lots of barrels. Some of it seems like interesting magical knickknacks for the museum, of course. Others just seem more generic, regular storage items. Kind of boring overall. So, what would you guys like to do? The sense of where the pinpointed location of the object is appears to be right over here where my mouse is. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can.
We can.
Awesome. Cool. The room smells musty. It's dark. There doesn't appear to be a light source in this room. No windows. Just one door. It's kind of lame and boring, honestly.
Well, leaving the door open just because it's like, well, that's our only light source.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian would go to the back, I guess, wherever he can feel that sort of force at.
Gotcha. As you step into the room, you once again are hit with this kind of weight on your chest, the feeling of magic kind of emanating and permeating the surroundings. This room is very heavily, I wouldn't say necessarily that the room itself feels magical, like the objects seem pretty normal, but the overwhelming sensation of it's like humidity. You just feel this like heavy weight upon you as this room, as you step into this room. The space itself feels very permeated, very full, and you're kind of like second guessing yourself as you look around a little bit, like catching glimpses of perhaps a different room while you're in this room.
Humidity's gross. That's what I took from that. No.
Humidity's gross.
Um. I'm just trying to think. So I guess he just kind of like pushes that aside and just is like, I just want my stuff and to get out of here.
While he's
and-
doing that, Carmen's standing pretty much in the doorway still.
Mhm.
Make sure the door doesn't slam shut and trap them again.
Yeah, that would stink.
And also to keep an eye out, because she's invisible, to see if anyone else is coming.
Yes.
Yeah. At the moment, there
But-
doesn't appear to be anyone. It's a simple hallway in the upper story, and you don't hear anyone around except for the slight objects bumbling around from downstairs where the, I guess, caretaker of this museum is making noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if nothing else, then he's gonna go to that corner, or however you want to phrase it,
Mhm.
and start seeing if he can find anything that is like a storage container or anything magically sealed, like anything that could possibly have what he is currently missing.
Gotcha. As you look around, you get to the point where you're, just realizing if you've cast Identify, is Locate Object also concentration?
Well, he used it via the orb, so didn't the orb take
Yeah.
Oh,
the
you're right.
concentration?
You're
Yeah,
right.
that one was through the orb because I do not have Locate Object.
Gotcha. Yes.
I'm not exactly a versatility mage.
Yeah. No problem. We
Yeah.
all have their strengths. So, yeah, the both spells are active at the same time then. Yeah, your indicator basically of where the thing is, you're honing in on it, and you're
Mhm.
looking. It is a big mead barrel, and more than that, the location that it's kind of pointing to in this dark corner is like just off, like floating in the middle of space, just away from the wine barrel. So it doesn't seem like your item would be inside the wine barrel, nor stuck within the side of it. It's the place you're being pointed to appears to be the same place, but perhaps a different room. If the extra dimensional space knowledge that you've got so far is anything to go by, it seems like there might be multiple overlapping space in the same place, which is kind of explaining why everything just feels a little dense right now. And in this dark corner, you're kind of getting those glimpses again through into a different place, and you're catching sight of little sparks of a candle lit in this room, but maybe not in this room, if that makes sense. It seems almost fragile as you're kind of moving through the air. It just feels unstable, like teeming with magic in the way of how the world reacts to your presence. You being someone who's studied the weave and knows a bit about magic, it just feels like the weave is stretched thin almost to its breaking point. If you can't find the password, perhaps you could even find some other way to break into another room.
Fair. Sorry, I'm just looking at some spells real quick just to see if there's anything that I'd want to do. I suppose then Adrian would turn back to Carmen and be like, well, it seems that it's on another plane, another space here, another room that
She just
This is
growls
making-
frighteningly.
It's not even a growl, it's more of just like a world weary sigh of
Mhm.
it's never easy, is it? It's always another locked door. It's always another password. But she doesn't say that. It's just
We wouldn't have a
conveyed through
game if you
her.
guys found your stuff and left left the Citadel quickly.
Come now, we'll figure it out. And he would exit back out into the hallway.
Okie dokie. Oh, that's not how you do things. Yeah,
I mean,
I don't have a map for the
she
hallway.
she would be following
valid.
his lead. So
Okay, yeah, you exit back into the main hallway. There's still daylight streaming in through the outside window at the end of the hall, and there's staircase up, staircase down. About, I think I said 5 other doors on this floor. I don't even remember if I specified how many
Something like
doors were on
that,
this
yeah.
floor, but there's a couple other doorways along the hall.
And so you said all those rooms are individually marked for something?
I'm saying each of these doors has a little placard beside it with several listings of, or
Okay.
several labels of what's in the room.
Okay.
So this room that you guys were in has storage as one of them, office as one of them, a elemental exhibit, and a couple of rooms that perhaps aren't yet ready to be shown to the public or something. So
Okay.
there's no label, even though there's a slot for it.
So maybe looking at it, it's like, well, which of these others do you think would be most likely that it could be?
he can't just see her just staring at it.
No.
Just, I don't know, Adrian. I don't ask myself where wizards hide their ill-gotten gains.
Well, we could always try, I guess, suppose the office then.
It seems more, how would one say, private than an exhibit. But then again, you were locked in an exhibit, so
Yes, well,
Like a zoo animal.
now, what would someone say to get into an office?
I hate paperwork.
Yes, well, maybe a different tone of sighing.
She just exhales sharply through her nose, like she's angry with the reports that Bob from accounting wants her to get done.
The door makes no response. Have you closed
Well,
it
I
at this
tried.
point, or is it still open?
Yes,
to the other
I
room?
would have closed it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, what if... I'm glad it's time for a break. No.
No. There's no
Well,
response.
If I get asked about safety measures one more time,
Unfortunately, without any knowledge of the password, it seems like you're kind of stumbling around the dark, looking for some random phrase that'll happen to work out. You don't even know whose office this is, technically.
what if I just do the sensible thing and just go talk to the man?
the one downstairs,
Yes.
like a lost and found type of situation.
I suppose, yes. Don't worry, I won't look like myself.
In the name of the kingdom and the crown, what am I going to do with you?
Is there a problem with this?
No, carry on. I'll be right behind you, my prince.
I need to check something real quick.
Very
Are you
well.
checking to see if it's concentration?
Yeah, I was checking to see if it's concentration. I don't have it marked as concentration, so
Nice.
For which?
disguise self.
Myself.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah, it does
interesting.
not say it's concentration unless I didn't copy something right. But
I can double check for you.
yeah.
Doesn't appear
It
so.
it is not concentration.
That's very convenient.
Very fun.
Okay. Well then, you can stay invisible. And Kingsley, or not Kingsley,
Adrian.
sorry, Adrian. Sorry, I'm gonna get used to it. I'm
Hmm.
I'm playing Kingsley in other things, so
Hmm.
it's hard
I
to
know
get
I'm
used to.
DMing that thing.
I know it's hard to get used to because of that. But yes, so Adrian, um, I, I guess with, I suppose disguising self now is fine because it's not going to change how things should go. Hopefully, so yeah, Adrian is going to use disguise self and um make himself look like a middle-aged tourist.
On the Citadel. Just you got
We
little
are in a
Hawaiian
sunglasses,
shirt.
museum.
Hawaiian
Yeah.
shirt,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little scrying glasses.
Yep.
Oh
Complete
Yep.
my
instead of
god.
mimosa. It's just like in a camera.
What are those big floppy tourist hats?
Yeah.
Oh my,
Yes, it's
Oh god.
hilarious.
that's so funny. Are you still a human?
Yes. Yes. He's still human. Um,
Did you change your
um
physical facial features? And
oh yes,
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
gotcha,
Made them older looking for
gotcha.
sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Middle aged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's gonna go back downstairs and be, relatively quiet about it.
Hmm.
And attempt to, well, we'll go from there. Like because he's gonna attempt to like approach, quote unquote, from the side to where he's working and attempt to get his attention.
Yeah. You see the Tiger Man just like trying to lift a large cardboard-ish. It's not really cardboard, but it may as well be for the. Who cares? It's just a box of what looks like a bunch of cards, just many decks of cards, and he's kind of lifting it onto a desk. Oh, hello! I did not see you there. How may I help you, good sir, who's leaking sand upon the floor with your flip-flops?
He's got socks with those
It's
sandals
it's
too.
it's it's thankfully not real sand, thankfully.
It's disguised sand.
But um but he would I'm real sorry for how this is gonna be. But he looks at me and was like, well, howdy there, boy. I just was happened to have forgot something while I was here, and I
Oh, you lost something, I see, on a tour. Yes, I'll bring you the lost and found. And he reaches under the desk and pulls out a box. Can you give me a description of what it is that you appear to have lost?
well, you see, it wasn't something exactly normal. So
Not many things are at this place.
well, yeah, but it was a little bit more weird than something you would just keep in a little old box around behind the counter, you know?
And
You
he
see,
kind of leans
Nate?
against it. Intriguing. Tell me more.
Carmen's just Blair Witching in a corner, just being like, "Oh my fucking god!" Not that either of them can see this.
No. Adrian absolutely cannot see this.
Hmm.
Well, between you and me, it's something a little bit magical, you know?
I can't.
Do you have any idea how slightly that narrows it down?
Slightly that narrows it down. God. Sorry, my brain.
You're killing me right now.
I'm killing me. What are you talking about? Oh
Listen, I
god.
just need some basic description. I don't need to know what it does, just so I can not let you look in the box and say, "Oh yes, everything is mine."
It's a ring.
A ring. Ring. Yeah, I think I've got some rings in here. Is it a... What color ring is it?
What color would his signet ring be?
It'd be silver and purple, colors of the kingdom.
Okay.
Purple?
Um,
I had no
yeah,
idea
that's-
purple was the color of the kingdom, but sure.
That's what I. Well, that's the color of my stone, my Crystal Luminous.
Is it?
Yeah, That's the color you told me it was. So I assume silver
I?
and purple. Yeah, are the colors of the kingdom.
Did I do this?
Feel like silver and gold were the colors. I have no memory of purple being related. I'm so sorry if that's the case. Now I need to look
That's
up the,
really
the
funny.
image
Well,
for the crest.
whatever colors are normally equated.
Yes,
It definitely would be
silver
if
and the
not-
other one.
Yeah, silver. Yeah. You got me curious though. I want to find that image now. I think it's in this chat, right? The crest of Lunimus.
I don't think so.
Oh, sad. Oh well.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
You DM, I'll find it.
Yes. Anyway, yes. He looks through and he goes, "Yes, here." And he pulls out like 3 different silver rings, all of which look relatively plain. One of them's got like some nice leaf kind of carvings in it on the outer side. One of them is just straight up a silver band, looks like maybe a wedding ring of some kind, and another one is a ring that's got like a cross kind of carved into the top, and it's just a rather plain signet ring of some kind. None of them are yours, obviously.
Yeah.
And he goes, "We've been getting a lot of found items lately. It's very strange how many things people have been losing lately, frankly. Any of these yours?"
No, sadly, none of them are.
I love the voice.
Now, I do wonder,
Mm-hmm.
since you've been saying that, where you been finding weird stuff?
Just all over the place. It has been bizarre how many places we've been finding it. We've kind of been bringing lost stuff from all around the Citadel as well, because this is kind of a, you know, it's not really like a town hall, but it's a public building that people are allowed to use, so we've started kind of using it as a bit of a central hub sometimes. It's not worth yeah. Anyway, yes, just all over the place, in the streets, on the ground, in rooms and buildings, just ridiculous.
Any particular places around here? Just so you know, I happen to be a little bit of an exterminator myself.
An exterminator. Think there might be a goblin or a fairy or something causing this?
Could
Just a
be
little
magical
thing.
problems, specialty of mine.
Ah, I see. Very good. What would your name be, good sir? Do you have a card or something?
Well, sadly, I'm on vacation, so I don't exactly have any of those cards on me. But my name is. Sorry, sorry, my voice is
I am
getting
waiting
to me.
for it. I'm so excited.
Oh god. Oh god.
I'm waiting for some sort of joke that was gonna make me want to get out of this bedroom, walk over, and flick you on the
You're
head.
not going to. Oh god. My name is Oliver Longfellow, and I'm here on a little bit of a vacation.
Heck did Arvold Longfellow get on the Citadel? Who invited him here?
I don't know.
Who's your +1?
Right here.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Nature's never living this down.
Well, it's very good to make your acquaintance, Mr. Longfellow. So what types of things do you exterminate? Just anything? Any type of pest?
I mean, if it's living, probably. If it's not living, well, I got some associates, some numbers. I can go and see about getting some things taken care of.
Well, we have been having a ratbird problem on the roof, but as far as I know, that's the only problem I've had specifically with the wormhole. there are plenty of pests around, especially in the lower levels of the Citadel. I don't have jurisdiction there myself, but you could probably talk to the caretaker, or any of the others who are in the castle on the hill. Maybe they would be able to make use of your services as far as that goes.
Did he say a wormhole?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the
Oh,
the
the
building
place
that you guys are in.
Okay,
The-
I didn't mentally equate that.
yeah, no problem. Sorry, that must have been weird.
No, it's all good.
Mhm.
Well, do you have an office around here? I'd love to talk a little bit more business with you.
Oh yes, I've got my office right back here, and he gestures to a different, entirely not the room that you're interested in.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
No,
it's an office, but
yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll go from there. Yeah, so he'd be willing to follow him in.
So are you wanting to start immediately, even while you're on vacation? I thought you were looking for some revelry.
Just getting the basics set up. Gonna hit. Gonna
It should
go.
be not too difficult. It's just rat birds have been getting into the attic, and they've been really just leaving droppings everywhere. It's a huge mess up there. I have not cleaned it in a bit. The intern was supposed to be taking care of that, but well, there's been an accident. God rest his soul. And he sits down across from a table. It's very well kept. It's a very neat and tidy office. There's like some little awards and acknowledgments of some kind along one wall, and the majority is just kind of little neat stacks of papers and just weird curiosities that are in various stages of cleaning, with like some large magnifying lenses on little standy arm things all over the place for examining interesting things that come in.
Gotcha. Well, may he rest. Well, considering that you got this problem in the attic, do you happen to want to just give me a quick little rundown of what's up there, so I know what to tell my boys when I get back?
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
I'm laughing at the snickering. Carmen, are you coming to the door to listen in better, or are you still?
She trusts that
facepalming in the corner?
he will not get killed by this feeble tiger man.
I mean, he's
So
sizable, but
so feeble.
Mhm.
So she is, while they're in the office, because he was working at like a desk, right?
He was working at a counter. Yes, it's
So
like a classic
without
museum counter.
taking anything, she
Mhm.
is looking to see if there's like a master list of passwords.
Ooh.
Because he seems stupid enough to have to write down every single password that leaves everywhere in this place.
You know, roll me an investigation check real quick.
Okay. Popo, you gotta move your silly little head. Thank you. That's a 4.
Oh,
A
no.
4? Oh. You're not
And
searching
Poop,
very hard, are you?
Poop, we don't have. I was like, I'm about to click over to my hope points, and I'm like, we don't have those.
So yeah, you search around a little bit, but unfortunately it seems that there's just mostly products in the area that you're searching behind the counter. If there are
Products.
a master list of passwords to get around the building, it might be elsewhere. But hey, the office door is still open, as the Tiger Man and Adrian, or Oliver Longbottom, or whatever his name is, Longfellow, head in. There is a chair across the desk from him that he offers for you to sit in as he sits down. So
Yeah,
you asked if there's anything in the attic that you need to be aware of, basically.
That his boys need to be aware of before they come back.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
got
no,
a team.
nothing in particular. There are some relics, of course, but they're all packed away in large wooden crates, so as long as you're not smashing things with hammers, it should be relatively straightforward.
No hammers, no hammers. Unless we really need to bring out the hammers, but this doesn't seem like a problem for hammers. To be fair, I got a little nature fellow down there, and they'll be right helpful with this issue. I can tell.
Ah, druids, yes, those would be helpful. We don't have a lot of those around here. There's not much wildlife to speak of.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have a nature issue, wildlife issue, you gotta get the right people.
Yes, precisely. So, how much would you be willing to do this job for?
I mean, he's
Our
got to quote
establishment
you
has
on.
not made all that much in recent days. I'll be honest.
You got to get
Yeah.
a tour to get a quote.
That's all good. That's perfectly fine. Let me just if you can just show me the areas where that's really an issue, and I can give you a very reasonable quote since you're giving me some additional work for my team.
Sure. We'll just head right up. Gotta warn you, they scratch if you spook them. So we'll try not to go and make too much of a racket. But we'll head up there. He seems a little bit scared, honestly, to head up there.
I'll be perfectly fine. Don't worry about me.
Yes. My name is TikTok, by the way. I don't think I introduced myself. And he offers his hand, which is on the wrong way, because Rakshasa are like that for some reason.
What did he say his name was?
Tigtug.
Tetum.
T-Tug?
Tigtug.
Tigtug?
Tigtug.
Like Dig Dug, but
Yes, exactly. Like Tigger.
Just one second. I just want to look at this guy's health real quick. Okay. Well, it's perfectly fine to touch people. Okay. Cool.
We find to
yeah.
touch people. Who are we touching?
he's about to shake his hand.
Yeah,
Oh.
shake his hand. Yeah.
Oh,
I was just
this
making
guy's
sure
self.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
I
making
see.
sure this guy's self didn't like drop for anything like
Ah.
that. It's like, nah.
Well, technically, if you were changing like the size and shape of your hand to a significant portion, then it would go through the illusion and make it clear that there's something going on.
That is true.
But
so
I imagine you wouldn't be like making your hand look like a basketball player's hand for some reason.
No, that'd be weird.
So it probably wouldn't be all that noticeable.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever want to make any like checks, like perception checks or anything against it, but yeah.
He seems to be
There-
a pretty
think
laid back
there are any.
individual. He's not
Okay.
he's not on high alert or anything. He's just
Yeah.
taking
long
it
as you're
as
good.
face value.
Was the door left open as they were talking?
Yeah. Well,
So,
actually, as
as-
they're leaving, I mean, he'll probably close the door behind him.
Well, as they're but while they're talking, they left the door open, right?
Yes.
Okay, so hearing that their conversation's wrapping up, Carmen's just gonna very quickly step inside the office now
Mhm.
and just hang out there until
Gotcha.
her new boss and
It's a way to phrase it.
current enemy, arch enemy, the Tucker, will leave.
Wow. Poor guy.
She
Really
could
funny.
snap him in half.
Okay, if you say
She
so.
could. He's
Uh,
what? He's a wizard. All wizards take 1d4 damage and die.
I mean, you're not sure that this guy is a wizard necessarily.
He gives off big wizard energy.
He had a nightcap.
Yeah, exactly. Name a nerdier thing.
Yes, we don't need to know his exploits. Come on now.
So, TikTok decides to, lead you up the stairs towards the direction of the infestation. As you head up to the second floor, you pass the door that you had previously examined, and he just kind of leads you across the landing and back up another flight of stairs. And 3 flights of stairs in total you head up, with each floor being relatively the same kind of layout, just a little hallway. It's almost like an apartment building with just, plenty of rooms all around. Although it seems a little nicer on the upper floors, as though it's potentially not seen as much use, and these rooms seem more geared towards being like in tavern rent a room type thing, like a hotel, rather
Yeah.
than a traversable public
Space.
facility. Yeah, for the like the lower floors. Anyway, he leads you up to the third floor, and then he shows you to a little, just tiny little closet thing that he opens up, and there's a ladder going up to a trapdoor in the ceiling, and he goes, "Well, this is the attic. Would you like me to come with you, or would you like to do it yourself?"
Now I can tell that you you have a little bit of a problem with these things, so I'll go ahead and just kind of take a look at myself and save you some mental hassle, all right?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you. You need a
Yeah.
light? There's none up there.
I should be all right. I can smell a what'd you call them again?
Rat birds.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I don't know. They're horrifying creatures. Nasty
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, you he makes up a species name just on the spot, something that sounds really scientific.
Yeah.
Yes.
We get these all the time. Ratbird is kind of a term I haven't heard used for them before, but it's all good.
Really? I didn't realize they'd spread elsewhere. I thought they were a result of an experiment gone wrong from one of our scientists.
Well, yeah, same. One person's experiment, another nature's own specialty.
What did you say earlier, Carmen? I didn't mean to miss it.
Oh. I was just calling the scientific name Radimus McBirdimus.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
But also, while they're up there, she's going to now look through the office for a master list of passwords.
Yeah, let's roll investigation again, but with
Yeah.
advantage this time because you're alone and there's nothing stopping you from making a huge mess if you want to.
18. I'm not making a big
You rolled
mess.
18 and then 17.
So, you check out the office, looking in like inside the desk in the front drawers and stuff, and you do in fact find a little notebook that seems to contain just a nice, neat, ordered list of different passwords and labels for things. Importantly, on what room is what and all this stuff. So, what would you like to do?
She looks at it,
Mhm.
pulls out her own like little notebook that she carries, copies them into her own book, then puts the book back and leaves the office to go upstairs.
Very nice. Very cool. Cool. Are you going to try to catch back up with Adrian on the roof, or
Well, she doesn't know what
upper floor?
she knows they're on the roof. Yeah, she did hear that part. So she would go up as quietly as possible. She's invisible, so she's not like too
Yeah.
worried about being spotted, but still trying to go quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe sticking to the ends of hallways if she sees movement,
Mhm.
as to not like breeze past someone and cause them to like feel the wind of her moving.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be anyone else here. It just seems to be, well, the people you've seen so far. You don't see a single other soul yet.
When she gets to the top and she sees her mortal enemy, she would just simply find a spot out of the way from everyone's walking path
Mm-hmm.
and post up there.
Gotcha. So you're just kind of hanging out, like maybe at the top of the
Mhm.
stairs, about 10 feet away or so, just kind of watching
Yeah.
as Adrian climbs this rickety wooden ladder, which is nailed to the
Hey, don't
wall.
bite me, you jerk.
Rude cat.
Yeah.
So,
Popo's
Adrian,
jerk right now.
you're
Yes.
climbing a ladder to the rat bird infested attic. How do you want to do this?
Boy.
You've made your nest and now you gotta scamper around in it.
I do. Okay. So yeah, I guess Adrian would thinking to his head, he's like, "Oh, what have I gotten myself into? What have I gotten myself?" And he would go ahead and climb up into this attic and make some very clear, audible footsteps. Showing like, "I am up here. Yep, I'm up here. Looking around." Not saying it though, because like, not gonna be that blatant about it.
As soon
Yeah,
as you
does a
poke your head up into the dark space, you're looking around, and there's just a couple dim spots where the wood boards don't necessarily like match together perfectly, and there's just a small bit of light kind of seeping through, lighting the corners and nooks of this room. And most horrifyingly, the other sources of light that you see are just a bunch of little red pairs of eyes that all are staring at you from the darkness. You hear a bunch of little skittering and rattling as things kind of move in the shadows, but they kind of stop as you make these large thumps, and there's just kind of eerie silence as you're making your way up.
About how many do I count?
At least 30 or 40.
I
It's a
see.
little swarm of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, so he'd make a little bit more of a show of walking around, and then head back towards the ladder.
Hmm.
And
So you're proceeding into the space, like walking around a bit?
just a little bit, not like super far, just so he can like kind of say, "Yeah, I've taken a look around in the darkness and can already tell how bad it is."
Yeah, the smell is
Someone's
pretty
gonna need
bad
the
as
premium package.
well.
Yeah.
Are you going to use any lights or just
Nope.
blindly
Nope.
wander?
It's just pure darkness.
Okay.
I know where the
I think it's a wander. I think he takes like 2 steps in and then circles back around and then does like 2 more steps and then circles back.
Could I have you roll me, guess it would be just perception.
Oh boy, my favorite stat, perception.
Your favorite dump stat, you mean?
It's not my dump stat. My strength is my dump stat. Oops, I rolled the wrong thing there. Oh, okay. Well, I rolled the wrong thing on performance, and then I rolled perception and got a nat 1. Yeah.
So you take a cautious couple of steps and everything seems fine. The floorboards creak uncomfortably underneath your weight as you kind of step into the darkness. Then your foot just kind of slides on something like wet and sticky, and it causes you to stumble
Thud.
forward a little bit, and then thing, you bang your head into a low beam that you could not see in the darkness, causing a little bit of pain. No real damage taken, just embarrassing. But what's probably a little more scary is as you bang your head on this, you suddenly feel something land on your shoulder and little tiny claws skittering all across your body as apparently one of these things has fallen onto you, and it begins to squawk and squeak angrily as it's just kind of ripping tiny little shreds out of your Hawaiian shirt.
Or my
Fake
Hawaiian shirt. Yeah. Are you able to adjust your disguised self afterwards? I'm curious.
That might be a fresh casting of it, honestly, because
Um,
unless it lets you animate your disguise.
yeah. Um,
Seems to me since it's
no, doesn't say anything.
a
So
one-time alteration of your appearance
yeah,
to be
that's
the
fine.
disguise, yeah, it doesn't seem
That's
adjustable.
fine.
He doesn't know that from down there that one of them landed on you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it's
He's
fine.
just a little squeaky. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Adrian is going to attempt to just get this thing off of him. That's the goal right now.
You disengaging from this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll me dexterity.
Just
try to chuck this thing off.
like a dex save or a dex straight
I
dex.
was just saying straight dexterity if you want to.
17.
Yeah. You managed to kind of shake it off your leg as it's already like trying to get down to the ground from you, flapping its little bat-like wings horribly as it kind of scampers down you, and squawking angrily as though you have single-handedly ruined its entire life, and it, like, slinks off into the shadows, kind of making a horrible hissing sound, which probably is
Not
getting cut out terribly by Discord.
no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, not that anyone can see, but he scowls at it, just like and he would head back to the ladder, very ready to be out of this fucking hell.
Yeah, it definitely
Um,
looks like he's got a
uh,
problem that needs to be dealt with, but you're
yeah,
not going to be the one to deal with it.
nope, nope, nope.
Yeah. So as you get down, the Tiger Man is kind of looking like, "Are you alive?"
Yeah,
And
I'm alive. I'm alive. That's why I'm decided to play a little joke. I'm all good. Yeah, you definitely got a problem up here.
Yep, I'm aware. That's why that room has not been used in a bit.
Yes, well, that would make a lot of sense. Um,
Did-
okay.
Did the stairs just snicker?
Sorry.
Probably just one of those bats up there.
Hmm.
Bat bird. Bleh. Anyhow, okay. What funds you have to work with for this?
Well, probably the best well, the question I should be asking is what is the price? Because
Well, once again, I said I would do you pretty well because giving my boy a little bit of extra work. Not every day we get to do some nice little jobs, and
are you saying you enjoy this?
well, my boys do.
You keep saying your boys. Is this a business you run, or is this your
It-
sons
yeah,
or something?
yeah, it's a business. Of course, it's a business.
Me and my boys.
People pay money.
Well, whatever makes your boys happy. Yes, so I could offer 50 gold. Is that sufficient for your prices?
Arguably, I might be taking a little bit of loss, but you know what? Since you're such a nice, upstanding young man, I'm more than willing to do that. Now, I'm not going to take the money off you right now. I'm going to make sure that there is a group of them going to head on up here in a couple weeks' time. Going to get taken care of because right now it doesn't look like you got anybody taken care of it anytime soon, right?
Nope, but it would be great to get it taken care of as soon as possible. When can we
Exactly.
expect them?
As I said, about 2 weeks probably. Just collecting resources, components, that sort of thing, and just making sure my
No
boys are all
fireballs,
ready.
right? You're not going to cause any
No,
damage to the artifacts, or
no. Of
Okay.
course not. Of course not.
thank you.
No.
Yes.
We know fire's a little bit of a dangerous thing in the house. If
Yes,
it's a big open field, well, depends on how much that field gets used.
Yeah.
Sometimes fire's a little good for a field.
I suppose it could. So thank you so much for dealing with our problem. He kind of clasps your hand. So you're looking for a magic item, you say, a ring of yours. I'm sorry that I don't seem to have it, but I hope you do find it soon. Feel free to check back. We might find more items in our lost and found in time.
Oh, good. As you said, there's things are popping up all over the place up here. So, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up in my pocket sometime real soon, like.
Yes.
And Adrian is going to take his leave.
Yeah. Did you put the closing trapdoor thingy back? As you
I don't
go down the
know.
ladder?
I don't know if he does. I don't know.
Well, when you were coming down the ladder, did you take the time to actually close the trapdoor, or did you leave it
Oh,
open?
the door up at the top?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't want anything following him.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Fuck that.
So TikTok will close the door and lock it with
Adrian's
a
more
small-
than willing to act like this, but he's not dealing with that shit again.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That's horrifying.
I'm sorry about that. That also.
Yeah, no
It
problem.
just you could have said just no. Hard no.
Marching order look like, EJ?
What?
What does their marching order, the Tiger and Adrian,
Oh,
look like as they're walking back to the stairs?
more than likely, I think Hadrian would go first, just because he's Tig Tug would be locking up the door to the attic, and then kind of following. I assume Adrian would be in the way, but maybe not.
Okay. As Adrian passes her hiding spot, she's going to give 2 taps to the shoulder, as hopefully they've known each other long enough that he would know that she's got something good, and to reconvene back on the second floor.
You tap it, and then you notice something white and gross on your finger.
I immediately shove it like in my pocket.
Oh no.
I don't want to be caught.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you tap
She
him on
doesn't
the
look at
shoulder.
it. She's like, if I don't look at it, it doesn't exist. If I don't look at it, it doesn't exist.
I can't believe we spent an hour of session time on this nonsense.
We want our stuff back.
No,
Welcome
that's
to
fine.
D&D.
This is not at all where I expected it to go.
Yeah, I mean, same, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
This is just where my brain decided to
No, I'm having so much fun. Orville Longfellow. I keep wanting to say bottom.
Yeah, no.
So you make your way
Nope.
down the stairs, unless you're
Bottom.
changing your mind based on Carmen's signal. What would you like to do? Otherwise, Tig Tug will just
Um,
kind of lead you back down to the main lobby, and he'll go back to what he was doing and kind of give you a friendly wave. He'll be like, feel free to explore the rest of the exhibits. Well, except that one crime scene. Yes, but there's plenty of things to see, and if you have any interest in things in the gift shop, maybe we could strike a deal, and I could pay you, you could pay me. It'll all work out.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'll see how the rest of my vacation sites pan out, huh?
Yes,
So,
yes.
but I'll see you pretty soon, one way or another, eh? And he's gonna trust that either she's got it figured out, or or he- that's the thing. It's like, hopefully she's got it figured out. He's thinking in his head. It was just like, like, yeah, I could like go invisible and come back in, but she didn't tell me to do that. Arguably, though, to be fair, if she wanted to follow him out, that would be another thing, because like she would actively hear him leave. So, if that makes sense.
It didn't, because I was momentarily distracted, but that's my problem.
Yeah, all good.
So, what would you like to do?
So I think he would go out, and if
Out of the whole building?
yes,
Oh.
and if Carmen wants to follow, that's up
Which
to
she
her.
didn't follow you down to the first floor. She's on the second floor.
Once again, he doesn't know that. So.
Yeah, and she doesn't know what you're doing either. So.
Yeah. Well, she would hear if he left, she would hear the door open and close.
Would
Yeah.
would I?
There's a little bell on the front door.
That's where my brain went.
Honestly, she'd probably just assume that it's someone else coming in.
Well.
Okay. Well, Adrian leaves the shop and heads back to the main street. You see a bustling activity as usual. There's a little stand across the street where someone appears to be setting up a weird looking little like a little cart kind of with some glowing energy across the panes and a sign that says free shop, and the guy is trying to get people's attention, going, hey, step right up, try to get the item from the box. If you can get it, it's yours for free. The world's first free shop. That's a proof of concept, and trying to get people's attention.
Yeah, he would
Angel
find
investors for this Silicon money,
yeah
Silicon Valley money.
he would try to find someplace where he can just kind of drop his disguised self somewhere like away from prying eyes, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's plenty of little alleys and just around the building where there's not very many prying eyes, so you could easily kind of drop your disguise without being noticed. Or you could always wander back off into the mistletoe fields. The dragon's still dutifully doing his work, spewing little bits of smoke out of his head as he goes.
The mech dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Well,
I guess it's on what Carmen wants to do right now.
yeah, Carmen, you're the
Yeah.
one who's
So
the doer of
she's
things. What would you like to
she's
do?
gonna check her little book of passwords
Mm-hmm.
for the door.
Okie dokie. Looks like the password to the second floor office is Industria Mat, and it's labeled as the office of Edularan the Mage.
I'm gonna quickly cross-reference to see if there's any intern office listed.
It appears that there is not an office specifically for the intern, but there is a little crossed off section where it says broom closet, and then it's just crossed out and labeled intern.
Love that. Okay. She's gonna just whisper the password.
Mm-hmm. You
Um,
hear the door kind of make a magic, and then it kind
so
of
does it
clicks.
pop? Does it pop open by itself?
Only slightly, in the sense that it like moves away from the door jamb, so it's clear that it's no longer like
Got it.
super glued shut. It's got give to it all of a sudden.
Okay.
And it makes a small noise in doing so.
Can I now hear on the other side of the door?
Yeah, probably.
Do I hear anything?
If you put your ear to the door, you would probably hear some footsteps kind of walking around, possibly some muttering, a little bubbling. Yeah.
Hold on. I had
Oh boy.
Okay, hold on.
Hmm?
Hold on. I'm checking something.
She's checking how much strength it requires to just bop someone over the head.
No. Okay. She's gonna pull out a copper piece and prepare it in her fingers, and then she's going to take a few steps away from the door, like on its side, to where it's gonna swing open. Not so it'll hit her, but like a little bit further than that.
It opens inward into the
Okay.
space.
That's even better. So she's going to make sure she's facing the stairs heading down.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to knock on the door.
Okay. Yep. So you go ahead and knock on the door. Hello.
And the moment
Sorry.
that's okay. And the moment she hears it getting ready to open, like hand on the knob, she's gonna throw the copper piece so if someone thinks there's motion by the staircase. Like there's sound coming from the staircase and there's someone over that way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you knock on the door and you hear a voice from within go, "What is it? Hello? Need something?" And then some footsteps approaching the door. It kind of opens inward to reveal a scrawny looking nerd. He looks rather old. He's like maybe 50 or more. He's a human. He's got wrinkled skin, a very bulbously large forehead, hair that's kind of fleeing him, and a large wart on his chin. And he kind of looks around and sees you toss a piece of copper. down the stairs, I guess, just catches a little bit of movement out of his eye
Hmm.
and kind of hears a small noise tumbling down the stairs. And he goes, "What? What? Is this some kind of a joke?" He closes the door behind him and just kind of takes a couple steps to take a look down the stairs. So he's kind of more or less passing you. Where are you exactly?
I was if the stairs were to the right, just hypothetically in the situation,
Hmm.
she was to the left, so she wasn't going like she was
Gotcha.
like 3 paces to the left, so he wouldn't cross over her.
Okay. So yeah, he looks down the stairs and goes, "Tig-Tug, did you need something?"
And while he's busy, she's going to whisper the password again to the door because he's looking down the stairs now,
Yeah, he's kind of yelling down
and
the
just
stairs. "I've
and
told you
just
not to bother me when I'm in my
and
studies."
just quickly in, quickly out, or quickly in, shut the door behind her
Yeah. Okay.
quietly too.
Yes. So you enter into the room, and I've got a map for it because I expected things to go very differently this session.
Did you
No.
think we're all combat?
Well, you never know what's going to happen. You have to be prepared. So you are in a nice little office. It looks very roomy. There's some candles burning in various places across the room. Some bubbling potion brewing chemical supplies of some kind on the right. Plenty of books all over the place, and even a little sleeping chamber. There's
Oh,
also, well, a desk thing that why am I bad at life? It's a desk. There's a desk with desk things on it. And
so
prominently featured in the middle of the desk, you would notice Adrian's sword.
oh, that she just immediately goes and takes it, puts it in her pack,
Mm-hmm.
and then um
Would you like to look around for any other items of Adrian's or just get
yeah,
out while you can?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me investigation as you're scrambling around and looking inside the desk.
Three.
Oh my gosh!
Not her strong point today.
Yeah, okay. We'll say that you do find, let's see. Adrian, did you have any other magical items or interesting gear on you?
Well, I would like to say, EJ, I'd like to offer up an idea to you.
Yeah.
So I am tied to Adrian via magic, right?
Yeah.
Like his magic is in me,
Mm-hmm.
and I am. If you want to think about it, in the grand scheme of things, I am like a magic item to him because I am in
You're he is attuned to
yeah
you?
yeah in a way. So I would like to offer the idea that if there's another object or objects with his magic so thoroughly imbued into it, like me, I could probably find them or sense them because it's like an extension of
Depends.
myself.
I would say that that idea would depend on what level of like magical connection the item itself has to Adrian. Like for example, if it's a house key, you don't have like
Oh
an
no, but
intense
like
emotional magical
his
connection to a house key, but
his like anything having to do with his insignia as princehood, that's part of the crown. That's her whole oath is to the crown, to the items of the crown.
hmm,
So that's like leaving his component pouch behind, fine, he'll live. Leaving behind a bunch of his other stuff. But if there's any items of his office, I feel like she would just instinctively know them.
I do
If
like
that
the
makes
idea
sense.
that you would just be like a radar like I lost my thing again, it's right there.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, then why would he also not be able to do the same thing innately with
Because
his own
wizards
things?
don't need to find them when they have a paladin to do it for them.
Does
Why do
help.
I need to do it if I have servants?
Well, I'm just saying if you did have this ability, it would kind of negate the locate object spells
I mean,
like it,
maybe it only works in a short area.
I like the idea, but at the same time I just don't think that there's that strong of a connection. Like it's
Come on.
a ring cast of metal or something. It's not going to be like the world's most inherently magically linked to
Okay,
him.
if that is your ruling, I do accept it.
Yeah.
But it is a neat idea.
Yes, I agree. But back to my original thought, with a 3, as you're kind of just quickly trying to see what you can grab as quickly as possible, maybe you kind of open a couple drawers and look around. But if there was anything that was being examined, for example, the magical sword, that would have been like right on the desk. Adrian, did you have any other things, like maybe not a component pouch because that's common, but any other magical items or something that would have been like in active study on the desk instead of just shoved somewhere in the back of a drawer, perhaps?
No, mostly the signet ring. Oh, and also his paperwork. I mean,
Paperwork. He had paperwork to say, "Yes, I am the prince." Or
yeah.
he
I
brought his
mean,
passport to the library when he got
I
kidnapped.
mean, yeah, he probably would have just had it stored in his bag just in case. I mean, it's the scroll of pedigree. It comes
Yeah.
with the noble background. So,
Gotcha.
Would they have taken that off him?
I mean, he didn't have anything on him. So,
I mean, his items were taken when he was kidnapped, just to make
That's
sure
fair.
that he didn't have any spell scrolls or anything crazy that he could have used to escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that being the case, I guess the only thing that you would find is the sword. But hey, that is a certainly a big one. You can always
Yeah.
find the other things later, perhaps. And now that you know
Or just get
someone
it
who
redone.
might be important to pay attention to, you can always stake it out later.
Yeah. Well, then she'll just grab the. Is it a ring? Is it a sword? We need to pick one, boys, because you're both
a
saying
ring or a sword?
It's the
two
sword.
different things.
You were tracking the sword. The sword is what you knew the location of for sure. Ring
What is it?
had no idea about. What is it?
That's fair.
Okay, well, Dylan kept saying signet ring, and you kept saying sword. So I was very confused on what I was grabbing.
Well, this is his lie to TigTug, or I
Was
guess
that your lie?
Yeah, that was
that
the
what you were-
lie.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought
I mean,
that's
to
what
be
you
fair,
were-
I do have a signet ring.
yeah.
But like,
Would the signet ring have also been studied, considering it's important?
Probably not. There's no inherent magic to it. It's just a ring, right? Unless I'm wrong on that.
I mean, I'm assuming. Yeah, I mean, unless you had something you wanted to do with it. So,
It's as far as I'm concerned, it's just a ring. There's not all that much enchantment you need to just.
It's not as identity proving as the sword.
You're asking questions that are putting me in weird situations.
Listen, I just want to make sure whatever I grab will be able to prove that yes, this is Adrian. Other than the facts that I know it's him, no one else could be as smarmy.
Why are you trying to prove that it's Adrian? What do you mean?
Just in case. I have about 20,000 worst case scenarios running through my head at any given time, given any loose plot threads, and I just want to make sure that I'm grabbing the right stuff.
yeah.
You've introduced the possibility that Adrian or Dylan and I have planned, and he's been a doppelganger.
Yeah,
this
I
whole
wouldn't
time.
put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him.
She's
My
onto
dear,
us.
you act like my dear. You act like I put effort.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do. You're lying to me right now. What do you have planned?
Nothing. I've planned everything
smiling.
in front
You're
of you.
smiling
my
right
dear.
now. You're smiling right now.
I'm smiling
You're
because
smiling
you're
right now.
accusing me.
What are you planning?
My dear, I promise you, there's nothing planned. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm being serious.
I believe you.
Do you?
Yes, I promise.
Okay.
Wow.
But I don't want to like bring Adrian back to Lunamus and be like, I have found him, and they're like, proof, and we don't have like the scroll or like my words. Not, I don't know.
Yeah, gotcha. Understandable. I think that's probably a little bit paranoid. I mean, there's enough innate magic within him, and
Light is paranoid. Carmen isn't.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. it's definitely his sword that was on him when he was captured. So this is a good sign that it's probably the right guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she
In case
will.
there was
She
doubt.
honestly. Then she'll just grab the sword and she'll peace out.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I would say you're probably quick enough to where the mage at Jularan is still probably trying to argue with Tigtug about whether or not someone did just knock on his door. Um, and
He's going senile in his own age, old
then,
age.
yeah, so he's kind of blocking the bottom of the
Oh,
stairs.
she'll
Jump out the
resume.
window.
Yeah, no, she'll quietly take steps back so she's out of the way of the door and just chill.
Are you gonna hang out in the office or are you gonna head
No.
out?
She
Oh,
left the office, took like. Honestly, she'll probably go up to the third floor.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Are you just waiting for him to go back in his office and then?
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. You wait for the telltale signs of the disgruntled mumbling as he goes back into his office in a probably more upset state than he was before, only to get even more upset, of course. After he closes the door behind him, you probably have moments before the explosion strikes. uh,
Yeah.
so you easily and visibly sneak your way back out, and little. Are you gonna open the door with a little bell on it?
No. How tall? How high up is the bell?
I mean, it's standard door height, so maybe like, ow, ceiling fan height. Exactly. Yeah.
So, considering she is a capable human being, she could gently wrap a hand around the bell to silence it and then step out.
Yes, that is easily
Girly
doable.
does exactly that.
Nice. Yeah. So it's just very slight noises of the clicky door opening and then closing behind you as you manage to escape. And I assume as you put the sword like in a pack or something, it also vanishes.
Yeah.
It's not just a floating sword. And Tigtug is still busy, doing his basic things anyway. Although now he's kind of muttering under his breath as well. And you escape.
And she is going to try to poke her head into every alleyway she can find to find her missing prince.
Yeah, Adrian, where are you and what have you been doing?
That's a good question. So I hid myself, right? Or
You undisguised yourself.
I was
Yeah.
hearing a D's nuts joke coming.
No.
We're more mature than that.
Probably should have saved that. I don't remember the last time I saved. Oops. Oh well.
It's fine.
I clicked
That
don't save.
happens.
I stand by it.
So he probably hasn't wandered off like at all. He probably honestly, he probably went to go find somewhere to clean his outfit, considering like even if it is like just like the shittiest thing he could be wearing right now, he still has it covered in stuff and would like to not would like to not smell and look even worse.
Oh yeah, I forgot you didn't have prestidigitation, so you're still kind of
Yeah.
gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, there would be, if you're looking like along the street of shops, you might be able to find some place that does laundry or prestidigitation services.
Yeah, no, he doesn't exactly have money on him right now, so
I see.
yeah, so he's just
But you
gonna
have a job.
Good job. Yeah.
Good job
yeah,
ahead of you
right?
for your boys.
For my boys. Yeah.
We're gonna bring the whole party up here to be exterminators.
Yeah, level 1 rats. Gotta start somewhere.
It's gonna be really funny.
QZ is gonna be like, do not harm the bats.
We
must become brethren with them. Or something.
Something like that.
I could just see like Pump immediately just being like, nope, I'm going to derail this as fast as I physically can.
I did have another race of like horrifying fish people, and he was like, "Oh, well, let's be friends with them," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't expect this. Why did I not expect it?"
It's It's one of his few things that he does every time.
He's a good guy.
He is.
Everybody needs one.
They do. They do.
So where did you wander off to then, if you're not
Um,
looking for a shop or anything?
probably to find like a water source that does not look like it's the most important thing in the town.
Ah.
I do not want to poison the water supply, but
Easier said than done in this place, it seems. In your previous exploration, there didn't seem to be all that many, you're on basically a completely manufactured world, it seems, and there's not a lot of, like, nature to speak of. It's only like a mile long of this entire island, like, full stop. So there's
yeah.
no natural rivers or anything. The best you can see is in the fields. There is beside one singular solitary tree, just meant to kind of spice it up and make it look slightly less depressing. There is a little fountain of some kind, a decorative little fountain. That might be your best bet.
Yeah, that's fine. He wouldn't like dunk it into the water source. He would probably take water from the source to clean it. That way it's, he's like, I know better than to fucking kill everybody with water. I'm not gonna fucking the water source. Not much, at least. Not yet. Not until I get my army back. No, I'm joking. I'm joking about that part. I'm joking about that part.
Yikes.
Right now.
Or is he joking about it?
For this second. But yeah, so he would do that. Try to clean however he can via the resources he has.
So Carmen,
then,
you look in a bunch of alleys, and you don't see him readily immediately. Yeah.
She's gonna curse just to herself, and she's gonna just go through a mental checklist of what he would do. Step 1, hide in the alley. Step 2, get bored. Step 3, try to get clean, probably. So she would go check the fields.
Is he known for this kind of thing frequently?
I imagine royalty doesn't like to be stinky boys.
Yeah. That's valid.
Fair enough. So you head to the same place, to the
Yeah.
fountain that you also passed last night? Yeah. Well, in that case, you don't see anyone approaching because she's invisible.
Yeah, no, that is valid.
He just hears the tromp, tromp, tromp crush of her footsteps and boots.
Yeah, it's a nice.
But
like,
she's not hiding
little-
her presence.
It's a little gravel pathway through the fields of crops. Small indentations of footsteps just appear slowly walking up to you, Adrian.
He's just prepared. He's like, no, I know what to expect.
Do you have any clothing on?
Oh,
you're doing your laundry.
Shirt, or no, sorry. He's taking the shirt off. The pants are
Gotcha.
Gonna be their own issue.
Fair enough.
She gets up to him and she's like, "Drop invisibility, please." And she goes into her pack and gives him his sword.
Da 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 da. It's dangerous to go alone.
I see. You did find. You did get an idea.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. Now, where did you find it?
In a laboratory of some sort.
I see. Any more details that would be?
She'd given a description of the wizard. And yeah, he had a big old wart on his nose too.
Out of curiosity, does that sound like anybody who's ever been described to him by, say, Lillian or his family?
Probably not, no.
Probably not? Okay.
No.
Well, I suppose we have some questions to go ask this man, don't we?
Yes, but we'll wait until we're back on not his home turf. You can imagine I made him quite angry getting it back. So I would actually recommend keeping that tucked away, hidden, so no one could see it. She like holds a handbag out for it to put it in her bag.
Just looks at her, common.
Adrian.
You know what I wish to do, don't you?
And you know I can't allow that right now, my liege.
I just want to talk.
No.
Would you rather not figure out why this happened?
And we can figure that out planet side. Not in the den of vipers that are directly linked to your disappearance.
I would still like my clothes, my ring, my papers.
And we cannot get those right now, Adrian. It was hard enough getting this undetected.
Yes, and I don't plan to get the rest of it undetected. So,
No, Adrian. This is for your safety.
yes, and what are you going to tell everyone? Deny me just because I have this sword?
At the end of the day, it is my job to keep you safe. It is to keep you alive. Sometimes, in order to do that, it means I have to make you unhappy. I will not allow you to risk yourself again so soon after I have gotten you back.
Do you think one man is enough to take me down?
It might not just be one man. We don't know how many could be lurking in the shadows.
Yes, well, on my own I've handled myself well enough, but with you at my back.
No, Adrian, you will not flatter me or cajole me into doing this.
No, there are no cajoles here. You and
We
I
need to
both.
get no. We need to get off this. She like gestures to the end of the island. This rock.
We have time for that.
No, we don't. Every moment they realize that you're not where you're supposed to be is a moment we're still at risk here.
Counterpoint. You want us to get off of here, alright?
Go on.
How do you plan to do that?
List your arguments before I explain my reasoning.
I don't know how we're getting off of this this rock, as it were.
Well, the professor did mention that there's a teleportation that can take us back down to planet side. And
Mhm.
if you're
Actually, he
concerned,
mentioned an airship.
oh, airship. Okay,
Mhm.
I thought it was teleportation.
It seems
And if we're worried,
teleportation might be disabled for
got it.
coming and going from here.
And if we're worried about you being searched at customs, perhaps we can get a hold of a bag of holding. You turn yourself invisible.
It is expecting
Clearly
quite a
never
bit
gone
of
through
me.
customs. At the Citadel. Sorry, go ahead.
So no, it's all right. So what if I do end up getting caught? Are you just going to say this is who it is with no proof?
Do we need proof? Do we need to tell them who you are?
Well, with that paperwork to be getting here, I mean, to be fair, you don't even have yours.
No, because most people don't need papers, Adrian. Who's to stop you from saying you're an adventurer who helped me and wanted to come back down to the planet with me? Your
Wasn't there
safety right now is the most important thing.
wasn't there something about limited coming and goings?
That's where the invisibility in the bag of holding comes in.
I do wish you luck with that. I have no idea where you're going to find a bag of holding.
I can source one.
Mm-hmm,
You haven't given me any time to plan something out.
Yes, well.
At least my plan's not as asinine as yours.
And if it does not work, then we shall go and talk to the man. Done?
Fine.
All right, then.
Let's go back to the professor.
Okay. So you guys, just to speed things along, you find your way through the bustling streets with all kinds of amazing things to examine that are underprepared, and I won't tempt you with making my life difficult. You make it to the professor again and knock on his door. He opens the door and is pleased to see you again. Oh, hello, Miss Paladin and Mr. I forgot already. I'm so sorry. What's your name again?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's an interesting name. Yes. Come on in.
It's actually Oliver Longfellow, if you do have to know.
Oliver Longfellow. How could I have forgotten? Yes. Well, pleasure to meet you again. Come in.
It's actually, Professor, if it's possible, we are satisfied with our preparations and would like to head back down to the planet as soon as possible.
Oh, wow, so soon. Huh. Well, that's...
We do move quickly.
Yes, well, that's how things go sometimes. Yes, we can definitely see you to the airships. Arella, would you like to come along? And gestures to his wife, who's in the background, but still, smiling happily. Yes, of course. That sounds lovely. Will you be needing anything else for your journey? Perhaps food, trinkets, change of clothes?
Food, some food, perhaps just a few rations to get us going would be lovely. And I just wanted to make sure that she looks at the professor. There's not going to be any questions about how the two of us got onto the Citadel.
Oh,
Given
nobody cares. People care more about who's coming in than who's going out. Nobody would
Excellent.
check. That'd
Excellent.
be fine. Yes, and if they do give you any trouble, I could just say, I invited you and now I'm uninviting you. It'll be fine.
Okay, well, thank you, Professor.
And hey, if worse comes to worse, you could always just jump off the side.
I'll keep that in
I
mind.
wouldn't recommend it, but it's an option. It's always an option.
Always is an option.
Yes. And Agrala's in the background just kind of piecing together some little packs of food. Did you decide to take up the option of change of clothes or anything?
Food, for sure. And then it would be up to Adrian if we took clothes.
Gotcha.
I mean, anything's better than whatever he was probably wearing.
Yeah.
They probably noticed that there's something on his pants, and it's just like he can see that they move to like say something about it, and he's just like, no, don't ask. Don't ask.
Yeah. Did you mention that you were going to be? Yeah, you mentioned that you were going to be trying to locate your stuff because of the crystal thing that he gave you. So he'd be like, so you found everything that you were looking for already? That was extremely quick. I'm impressed.
Not everything, but something at the least.
Oh.
The most important thing, arguably.
I see. Well, that's certainly better than nothing. Are you just eager to get out of here then?
The sooner we leave, the better.
And you still have no idea why this happened?
None.
Can you remind me, out of character, did you tell him who you were or your identity or anything?
I lied about where I was from.
Okay, so he doesn't know who you are or where you came from.
He just knows me as Carmen the Adventurer, and I'm from an area that bordered Lunamis's territory.
Gotcha. So he really doesn't have much to work with as far as making any connections that he could tell you about. Yeah. Okay. Yes, well.
Like, if he knew stuff, it would put him in danger, and Carmen doesn't want to do that to him. He's a nice man.
As far as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secretly, he kills babies.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I listened to an anime list of like most hated characters, and Shao Tucker was at the top, and I wasn't surprised.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Well, yes, sometimes it's the little things that we take for granted, After all, I lost track of that statement. I'm so sorry. Where are we going again? We're heading out now,
Who
right?
are you?
Who am I?
Yes,
Is it
sometimes
time
it's the
for
people
pudding?
closest to us that we tend to take for granted. Let's try not to forget that. And she kind of just pats him on the shoulder and gestures for you both to head out. So, you head off in the direction of the airships. Well, the dock where the airships come and go from. There's a large stone, brick, and wooden kind of area where the airships kind of come in and dock at, held down by many ropes, and they're all just kind of big inflated blimp type things with little compartments underneath, but they are decked out with like magical instruments, and it's very steampunk, very just whatever you're imagining, it's that. I don't feel like explaining too much more than that.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
no, we get it.
I
Yeah,
played
but
Guns
there are
Roses.
people coming and going. There are, a large kind of gangplank has been extended and
Mhm.
people kind of offloading something. And as you guys are approaching, unfortunately, it seems that there is a disturbance happening with. There's a box that's halfway on the ramp and halfway off the ramp, and two workers are trying to push it off and kind of arguing with a guard who's trying to like gesture to them pantomime because you can't hear what's going on. But there seems to be some kind of disturbance, and there are two other guards that are kind of around the area at this point, and they seem to be turning people away. You see a couple of large buildings that are marked Wizard TSA, and
Wizard TSA.
they're also seeming to be turning people away at the moment. What would you guys like to do?
Able to push me away, considering I'm an unstoppable force or an immovable object.
Depending on the circumstance.
Yeah.
They
Well, I'm
cast
just
a
a big,
spell.
heavily armored young woman who is not pushed aside by some guard easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess she'd get as close as she could to hear what they're arguing about.
Yeah, sure. You edge. Are you heading towards the currently docked airship, or are you heading towards um the Wizard TSA, or what?
I mean, I'd probably ask Wizard TSA what's going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, you head over there in that direction, and there's a long, lanky guard, and he's like, "Oh, hey, sorry, you can't go this way. The caretaker says that there's been a disturbance, and we can't let anyone come or go right now."
Asking what the disturbance is about, that's all. Just
The
curiosity.
the key of Karsus is gone.
The
Yeah,
what?
the key of Karsus. You haven't heard of it? It's like
No!
the key to the
Just got
city kind
here.
of thing. Just
Oh.
sorry. Yeah, I forget not everyone's like from around here and stuff.
There's not much place
Why
to
is he
be
just
around
Shaggy?
from.
He's
but-
just
but
Shaggy.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
He's like Shaggy as a teenager. Like an actual teenager, not
Yeah. Likes, man. What did you say, Light?
I mean, she was like, there's not much place to be around from, but yes.
No, yeah, I guess that's fair. Did you want additional explanation about it then?
No, she was just like,
I like the voice change, so do you want to
Well,
I
I gotta
mean,
make a
key
distinction.
to she's like, just key to the city's gone. No, and do they have any suspects?
Oh,
Just out of
no, not
curiosity.
really. It's just kind of strange and sudden. But we gotta make sure that nobody leaves with it. And we gotta make sure that people coming in aren't nefarious. So there's just been an edict that we're gonna keep everyone here and everyone... I just enforce the rules, man.
No, I mean, I'm not arguing with you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
But just have they tried locating the object?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, they probably thought of it.
Yeah, but they're bureaucrats, so have they actually done it?
They haven't told me. I
But
haven't.
it's just
What?
it's more of just a never mind. It's more of me just complaining that they'll
I-
talk, they'll never
I-
do anything.
I also imagine with the bureaucrats thing, he gives like Carmen just a little shove to like in in the side, just like
Kingsley does or Adrian does.
yeah, Adrian. Did I say Kingsley?
I
Oh,
said Kingsley.
okay. Yeah, I'm not the only one who does.
You're messing me up.
I love you.
I love you too. She just totally ignores the like child shove that was pushed into her side. And continues, and it's just like, well, thank you for answering my questions, and hopefully this all gets uh cleaned up soon
Of
because the
course.
key to the city is not just a representational object that would be an honorific given unto someone, but probably an object with actual power.
Are you saying this in character or out of character?
No, I don't know how
Yep.
things work here in
Yeah,
Wizardville.
you're right about that. It's super important. I think.
See,
Well, I
you
hope
don't even know, and
I
you're
hope
from
you
around
enjoy
here.
your time at the Citadel.
Thanks, thank you. And she'll just just turn around, just shake her head to herself as she walks away.
Oh wait,
Did you have your fun?
I forgot that Agrala and the professor were with you. I guess they could have interjected in the conversation, but I appreciate not having to talk to myself, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say that they were waiting a little distance away, and they see you kind of coming back. Well, how'd things go?
Well, the key to the city's gone.
The what? Oh,
The
well,
yeah,
that's unfortunate.
yeah.
Well, it's still standing here.
Knew something was going on.
Um,
Let's see.
Professor, how long does it take an airship to get back down to planet side?
Oh, not very long. Matter of couple of hours. Well, or none if you pop it. But sorry,
Hmm.
that's the second macabre reference I've made the past few days.
No, hold on, hold on, hold on. Light's looking at something.
Oh, gotta make a sled.
No, no, no.
Big B's magic hand.
I mean, I suppose I could always summon a different form of midnight to fly down there.
No,
Why not?
I refuse to do that again.
You've never ridden on Midnight with wings before.
That is the problem.
Midnight likes you. He wouldn't let you fall.
I don't believe that for a second.
It's very much so accurate. He adores you.
So you say.
I do say. And you would do well to believe me more often.
I would like to tell you guys. I know that you didn't make the connection because I haven't told you anything about this topic yet, but
Or in space.
yes.
Yes.
Karsus is a name that you guys would probably recognize if you have any interest in the history of your kingdom.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
both of us would have.
I imagine you both would, probably. So, Karsus was the founder of both the Citadel, which you might be less familiar with, and Lunimus. He basically cast the spell that ripped the large chunk of mountain out of the ground and flipped it upside down to become the floating city of the Citadel, and also left behind the circular crater with a mountain protecting it, a mountain ring, the kingdom of Lunimus that was left behind. Both were created by one spell that created this floating island, and well, he went on to continue living on that that tall, far away magical research place that he made, basically, where he continued to live out his days trying to advance knowledge of magic to an extreme degree. But his descendants, his line, are the royalty of Lunimus. So he is
Yeah.
technically your ancestor, Adrian.
Great ancestor
But
of
of
some
course, yeah, the name Karsus, I mean, it could not necessarily be a key from Karsus, like literally owned by him. It could just be a name. You're not necessarily completely up to date on the lore of the
Yeah,
Citadel's
Horn.
goings and comings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I getcha.
But the name would
Okay.
certainly stick out to you and potentially draw your interest.
True.
Anyway, back to
suppose.
arguing and planning to jump off the Citadel or something.
Yeah, that was.
You could always cast Featherfall just at the last second as you fall. Just
Good joke.
it's a long way down, but you'd be fine. You just have to hope you don't land in the ocean.
I mean, you also say that like I have Featherfall.
Ah, yeah. that would certainly
You
help.
have the orb.
I don't have Featherfall though.
You also didn't have freaking what's its nuts.
Locate object.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
but I thought it was attuned specifically.
It's not a. It was a crystal that it's not attuned specifically to only be able to cast that kind of spell, but he gave you basically a rune that you could draw in the air using the crystal to create this type of magic. So he might be able to inform you of how to draw another rune to cast another spell.
We could, yeah, we could do something. But anyway, Karma just kind of sigh and look at Adrian, just be like, "Okay, what's your plan?"
Oh, I have no plan.
Here, I thought you always had a plan.
Okay, fine. Here's the plan. We're gonna go find this person who's missing so that we can get off this island without jumping off the edge.
It's not a person; it's a key.
Sure.
I think you were too busy trying to jab at me for that bureaucrat remark to fully pay attention.
Yes, well, I'd lost any desire to listen to what was going on.
Well then, we best get going. I'll follow you.
Well, where would you expect someone who's gone missing to go? Maybe a wizard has them.
You would know better than me, considering that these are your people.
My people is not quite the word, but
She like wiggles her fingers to be like, magic.
yes, well. I guess we're gonna go start doing detective shenanigans.
Yeah,
You can't
see...
escape it. You get to do it on Thursdays. You get to do it on Mondays. You get to do it on Tuesdays.
Yeah. I mean, I do it much less on Tuesdays, but still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunshine doesn't take me as the detective type.
I mean, they probably could be.
He has a drow named Sunshine.
That's cute.
I mean, not my choice, but
Okay, listen. The party gave you a chance to tell us your name, and you didn't, so you got forcibly nicknamed Sunshine.
yes, I know.
That's adorable.
Side note, EJ, do you want to see a picture that I drew for that campaign?
Sure.
This is my character and her twin brother.
Nice. They do not look like twins. I guess
well,
they're not.
Well,
Yeah, obviously.
well, they have the same mortal parents, but she has a third father who's the god of fire, and he has his third father is the god of water.
You
so
mean second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His second father is the god of water, and so they're biologically related twins from the same mortal parents, but their godly parents different. So they're two Aasimar.
Interesting.
And there's only 6 Aasimar in this world, so their mom at one time gave birth to 1/3 of the Aasimar population.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's.
She's so cool that 2 gods saw her and called dibs.
Oh. Oh dear.
Well, it was more of they saw that she was having twins, and they're like, I want the kid.
I
And
see.
then they're like, there's 2 kids. We can both have one.
Oh no. I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Mhm.
they're so cute. I love them. Their names are Cassiopeia and Castor, like the
Nice.
stars.
Cool.
Anyway, sorry. That was
Yeah,
my.
no
I
problem.
don't know. I've been rotating them in my head a lot.
She has.
It means I've been obsessing over them.
Ah, I see. I was imagining like a 3D like orbit.
No, she can't do
see.
that.
I can't see things in my head.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry for skipping over some of the descriptions then for
Oh
just now.
no! It's just I can't. I just if you say words, I can't imagine the scenery. I
Hmm.
just like I know what an arch is, and I know what a road is, and I can intuitively understand what an arch over a road would look like, but I cannot see in my head an arch going over a road.
Gotcha. Interesting.
I
Yeah.
can.
Shut up. No one cares. Stop rubbing it in my face.
I think most people have like a mind's eye. Is it like
Yeah,
most
10%
people
of
do.
the population that
I-
don't or
I'm
something?
I'm a small part of the population that can't. Most of
Funnily enough.
That's
most of those
fine.
are artists too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most artists can't see things in their head.
That's probably why they draw, because they wanna they wanna see it for real. Instead of just imagined.
There's find different ways of seeing.
That's cool. Well anyway, we are
Right,
getting close to
That's
the
sidetracked.
Yeah, no problem. We are getting close to the end of our time here, and this is a good. It's not necessarily a good cliffhanger with the kind of way it petered off, but it is a good
It's a
natural
good shopping place.
resting point. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got the mysteries as far as who is this random mage guy? Why was Adrian kidnapped to begin with? Why did they study his staff or his sword? I keep calling it a staff because we talked about it maybe being a staff. His sword in
His
particular.
authority.
Yes.
His authority.
And I don't.
Sounds weird out loud.
Yeah, and of course now we've got the plot thread of the key of Karsus disappearing, and how the professor's kind of grumbling and wondering about how it's related to the mysterious goings on around this place. How all these connect, unsure, but we will find out. Hopefully
Next
the other party
time.
will.
Total
Next time on
drama.
D&D.
Violence.
Hopefully the rest of the party will be able to join at some point as well. By the way, did you see the
See.
image I posted in the chat of the stats for your weapon, Adrian?
I looked at that and I'm jealous.
I was not paying attention.
You
It
are so
is
lucky.
surprisingly complex at this point.
give it to me. Give.
Carmen, you've
give
already
me-
got so much cool stuff. Here,
No, I
You can
don't.
break a man in
just have-
half with your bare hands.
I just have my little crest and that's it.
This is literally all he has right now. He's lost
No.
everything else.
So
This kind of became a combo weapon sort of thing, you know?
It became a what?
So a combo of two
Yeah.
different things because we were like, well, he should get something nice, right? So
Yeah, pick yourself out
3
something nice.
charges? That's insane.
It is a little overpowered.
Me
Little
over here just rolling on the ground like, oh my god. It does make
Now-
sense though.
now, just out of curiosity, because it doesn't quite say it, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, as an action, the creature wielding authority can arrange the dials and trigger them to draw power from crystal. Authority is you gain +2 modifier, or the first ones get 2 for the next hour,
Mm-hmm.
and then second one is for 10 minutes. Third is I can just cast a spell essentially.
Yes, but that'll still use a charge.
Yes.
Mhm.
Fourth is I can turn it into an immovable rod.
Mhm.
And fifth is for that turn.
No. It is. I guess I should have specified the amount of time, but it's basically the same thing as doing mage armor or something. It'll last for an
Uh,
hour or something.
okay, so it's like the first ability essentially.
First ability? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's same thing.
Okay. I mean, hey, taking an action to give yourself +2 armor is not a bad thing
Yes.
for the rest of your fight. Like that's not a bad thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah.
But I find most interesting the fact that there may be
Is really cool.
additional pieces that you never got a chance to learn since your father met an untimely fate before, well, the sword was officially supposed to be passed to you. So you've learned some things just from watching him, and as a father shows his son, oh, here, try out this, do something cool with it, but maybe you haven't got the full tutorial on everything that this weapon can do. Maybe more will be discovered as you solve the puzzles of the turning rings and et cetera, and maybe at some point I'll actually
Oh, it's
have a
all about
model of some kind that can be
It'd be
solved
very
like
all
a
cool.
about
puzzle.
his dad's untimely demise. What about my dad's untimely demise?
Okay, yeah, that's true. That is entirely fair. I'm sorry about that. May he
How
rest
come
in
I should get cool stuff so I
peace.
can delve into my bodyguard abilities?
Also, I just realized, is this just a flip blade?
Kind of,
It's a
yeah.
switchblade.
Kind of.
It's a giant switch.
Oh,
I was
I imagine
imagining the
it.
sword from Dishonored, if
Oh,
you've seen that.
I was
Oh
I was
yeah.
imagining like a lightsaber.
That too. It's just all those.
It's all of those.
I mean, honestly, I would be jealous. I would want this weapon too.
That is very cool. Like no matter which campaign you're playing, like it's cool.
And
It's
it
I
is
mean,
overpowered. I agree. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
little too
but
much,
also
but
he's
it's
not
fine.
going to be able to hit anything anyway, and his armor class is like 5. So
So he needs it. He needs
Yeah,
the boost.
exactly. Yeah. No, I mean this is
It
legit.
brings
Yeah.
him up to average.
yeah, it does.
And that's why there's 3 charges, so you can have one left over for something else.
Party.
Yes.
Woohoo! This was fun though. Good
Yeah.
session.
Yeah,
It was.
thank you. I shouldn't spoil how I expected things to go, because who knows, maybe things will
Oh, come
happen
on.
anyway. It'll recycle.
Come on.
Just a kick in the door and
It
kill the
was
wizard.
it was such a cool potential fight to be had, but oh well, someday maybe the other party will experience
Listen,
it.
we were ready to sneak in.
Oh
We were
yeah.
not going to get caught.
Mhm.
Not this time.
Yeah, no worries. That's how D&D is played. I was just excited for the fight because I had it all like with my little program. uh,
That's
Listen,
good.
there's still time for them to be mad that their toy got stolen.
mhm. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, I know I promise it every time, but I'm gonna try to get ready and be like more competent
Take as much
next
time
time.
as you take as much time as you need.
Actually,
Yeah.
come to think of it, I'm gonna be visiting home for Thanksgiving in 2 weeks.
Oh, nuggets.
Same,
Yeah.
same for her. Yeah.
We're gonna
So
be super busy.
2 weeks from now, we might not be able to do it.
Oh yeah,
Or at
'cause
least it would
you're
be
gonna
extremely
be.
difficult. So I would happily take a little extra time to
Let's
prepare.
let's take that 27th off
Yes.
because that's just gonna be. I'm gonna be wiped and I'm gonna be starting work again. And I'm gonna be
Oh
like,
no.
no,
Are you gonna be able to do this? I know last time you
no,
were
I will
working.
be.
Okay, cool. I don't want to
Oh, it's
stress
just.
you
I mean,
out.
I'm
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 stressed out
working
right
now.
now. Yeah.
It's more of that's the first week back from break because
Yeah.
as a teacher, and I'm going to be like, I'm going back to prison. They're sending me my prisoner ID number 24601 reporting for. It already feels like prison, but
Putting you
after a
back in the
week of freedom,
mines.
it's gonna feel like prison again.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, we'll take that week off, and I
Yippee!
guess maybe we could pick it up the week after. So then we would be alternating again as far
Yeah,
as
just whatever
because
works for you.
currently I did yesterday's session with the other group,
Mhm.
and because we at some point one of us skipped a week, and we ended up now with their both on the same weekend, so I have to prepare twice as much for the same time, whereas when we're
Yeah.
out. But either way is bad for me because either I prepare it all at once or I have to prepare constantly all the time, and I never get a break. So I just want to only be preparing one campaign. I'm tired. I'm just
valid,
tired. I
You can do it. Just
yeah.
teleport the party to us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, okay, I say this now. I hope my plan is for 2 sessions from now, they will be in the same place as you, and hopefully we can group up. In practice, it might take like 8.5 sessions because they choose to do something I didn't expect, and things take way longer, and then everyone dies, and I have no idea. Because I don't want to
Sounds about
like
right, yeah.
force them to go specifically. Like, I don't want to
Um,
completely railroad. I do need my
Although
sanity, but I also
I
don't want to make it
we
obvious
could
that we're preparing
we
a
could
surprise.
offer a small incentive.
Incentive.
Because I have my sending stone.
You do.
So if the party's in Lunamis, they could get word from Lillian that we are on the Citadel.
Yeah, if you
Which
were to turn on your sending stone and say anything, then
which
that
I
would
would
be
happily,
great
for the sake of plot, she would at some point now
Yeah,
after the session's
if you're
over.
realizing now that you're stuck here and you're not going to be able to get back
Yeah.
easily, you could just be like, yeah, hey, so we're safer now, I guess, for the moment. Just wanted to let you know where I am.
Yeah, just Roger, we are on the Citadel, trapped. Adrian and I are okay. Over.
And then incomprehensible screaming as Lillian's like, "Why do you turn off your setting stone every time we were in the middle of a conversation?"
We were fighting demons. Okay, it was for my safety.
Okay, that's a good enough reason, but still. All right.
And this time she'll leave it on because she's no longer in a stealth situation.
Yep.
That's fair. Yeah, I imagine
but
while you're
yeah.
in hiding. Oh boy.
But that could be relayed to the party, and that could get them to Scooby-Doo style try to skedaddle up to the Citadel.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because if they have wind that we're alive.
Could yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Always want to throw a DM a helpful bone.
Yes, thank you.
To help the DM just a little bit.
For real. But my biggest problem has like I've got all these ideas, but I don't have time to do them, and having to split my time between all these different topics is really making it like it's hamstringing me. So I would love to be able to just put like full effort into one party, just one plot thread that I need to do.
We're sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It's my own fault for thinking that I could do this when I clearly do not have the time for it. If I had no other obligations, I'd be totally good, but I have too many other things going on. Even outside of work and D&D, I've still got other projects that I'm doing. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, we end up doing that to ourselves as humans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Overestimate the amount of time that takes to do things. But it is really fun. I'm enjoying this. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having fun. This is good times, and I'm so looking forward to the surprise.
We do just banter and go back and forth.
Yes.
Or do voices.
It's fun watching your expressions as the two of us just slip seamlessly into characters we've played so frequently and often that a lot of things that we do are implied and unsaid. Which fits their characters because they've known each other since they were kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Absolutely. I just think it's fun, and you're just like, ooh, ooh, and you just make all these faces. It's fun to watch.
I didn't even realize I was doing that, honestly. I do enjoy just listening and letting other people roleplay, because sometimes I feel like I'm taking too much time and spotlight. So when everyone else is having fun interacting,
you're the
as your
DM,
characters, man. Yeah. Well,
you're the DM.
I just
You gotta be
enjoy
guiding
it when there's a scene with everyone else and I can just take a break for a bit and be
Oh,
like,
I love those. I love those as a DM. I just put my feet up. I've got my virgin pina colada in one hand. I'm sitting on the dock in Tahiti watching the sunset. It's amazing.
Especially good when you're already stressed out and you're like, man, I don't have anything prepared. There's like facades
Thank
everywhere.
God they're
Please
talking.
don't. Yes, exactly. It buys me time.
Yep. Induce conversations.
Yes, indeed.
Or you could just do what I do and make them play mini games in their game of D&D. I made them play Go
Mhm.
Fish, and I made them play Catchphrase, and I'm thinking of other games to make them play during session.
I think
It's
it's
great.
funny.
They hate it.
I think it's funny that I was on the winning team for all that. So far.
Did you win Go Fish?
Yep.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was me and Carmen that kind of like rounded up the table.
Mhm.
If I
Combat
recall
is
correctly.
another mini game that you could force people into to take up time.
yeah. Well, I already have them solve murders, so I can't. I'm not gonna shove them into combat because then they're gonna
Cause
die.
more murders to solve, yeah.
Yeah,
But hey, at least
Yeah.
they'd have them solved.
it's true.
Yeah, at least we'll know what happened.
Yep.
All right. Well, this was a good session. I'm gonna take off my headset,
Okie dokie. Have a good night,
and
guys.
I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yep.
Bye, EJ.
Yep.
I guess we'll
Later.
sort it out in the chat which week. Probably the week after the 27th.
Yeah, we'll figure
Whatever
it
that
out.
is. I can't do math right now.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
we'll get it figured. Later.